hoping to try to cut some of those oats today up on that state land. I'm still thinking about wrapping them. I was up there last night and looked at them. They actually look pretty good. They would maybe be all right to combine. They've come a long ways from what they were, but I don't know. We were kicking the idea around, and short as we were on hay last year, like I said, at this point they're headed out, so they're not really going to be that good for the milk cows, but they make really good hay for the dry cows and heifers when they're headed out. So and I need that too, so I think we're going to still make them for hay. To just cut them and we'll wrap them, but so we're going to try to get to that later today. All right, afternoon everybody. We're up here at the oat field on the state land. I got the hay bind up here in the John Deere 820. I'm going to start cutting these. I'm not going to cut the whole thing at once. Their forecast is kind of sketchy. A couple days decent, and then maybe a couple days of rain again. So I don't want to have more cut than I can get wrapped, just because it's a little longer of a process, you know, having to wrap them. But anyway, and I'm gonna cut this first chunk here. This field is kind of made like stairs, like 3 sections. Each one's a little longer, but I'm gonna cut this first section. I suppose that's maybe 3-4 acres, and we'll start with that. And I've got the hay bind. I narrowed up the windrow swath width on it. I don't think if I can get by without raking it, I'm just going to leave it, because to get the V-rake up here, our V-rake is an old style V-rake, so it's kind of it's a pain to fold and unfold every time you want to move it. And then I've got the little bar rake, which works all right, but for some reason on oats, it tends to have a lot slip through the fingers. So this way I figured, you know, being I'm not really trying to get it, I mean, it has to be dried somewhat, but not a lot, so I don't think it's worth me trying to rake it. I mean, it would save a little time putting a couple together, but by the time I get the rake up here. So we're going to try that on this first piece anyway and see how it goes. If I don't like the way that works, I'll rake the rest. But anyway, we'll get into this and see what it looks like. Got this section cut here. That piece over there, that I usually leave for the animal, deer and stuff. That's kind of my rent for the rest of the field. And I'll probably leave, there's kind of a hillside over here that didn't even really grow. There's a lot of milkweed and stuff there, so I'll probably leave that too. But I just wanted to cut this chunk for now, just to kind of try everything, baler, wrapper, make sure everything's working, because first I've used it this year. But anyway, I was going to show you another reason that I wanted to cut this early, instead of letting it wait to ripen, is because of this here. I've got a real infestation in this whole field of crabgrass. And when you've got crabgrass in oats, there's nothing you can spray on the crabgrass to kill it that won't kill the oats. At least that I know of. So what my plan is once I get all these oats off of here, I'm going to come up and hit this with some glyphosate or Roundup or whatever, and whatever you want to call it, and burn this off. And I might try to seed in a second crop of oats here to cut for hay later this fall, just because it is early enough to do that. I got the okay to do that on this piece. So, but this crabgrass in oats is really hard to control, and even though next year is going to be my last year on this piece, I'd like to try to get this under control for a couple reasons. One, for I'm going to put peas and oats in here next year, so it'll cut the competition down for that. But also I still farm land that borders this, so getting this piece under control for future use will help keep it out of this other land I have here. So anyway, that's kind of another reason, because if I leave this too long, wait for the oats to ripen to combine, then this stuff goes to seed, and there's just billions of seeds on each plant. So try to get a little proactive ahead of that. But the oats look pretty decent. Like I said, I don't know how they would be for oats as far as grain wise, because it was dry. Maybe they got moisture and time enough to that they'd make a decent head. But you're also getting a lot of the crabgrass, and I actually noticed quite a bit of clover, volunteer clover, that's come up in here. So I think this will make pretty decent feed. It might not even be bad for the milk cows. So anyway, I'm gonna head back now and finish up some chores. Like I said, I got this piece done for now, so I don't know if I'll be back up here tonight. Probably sometime tomorrow. I'll come up here, get the baler going tonight probably, and then I'll come up here and bale this piece. So we'll see you then. Everybody, Saturday, July 11th. Nice day out, beautiful, nice breeze blowing. We're gonna probably try to bale some of those oats today. I actually went back and cut that whole field. I wasn't going to initially, but they changed the weather a little, and it looks like it's supposed to be nice till Tuesday, so I got some time. So I went and cut the rest of that yesterday. Got our little baler out here. We've got 2 round balers. We've got a New Holland chain baler. It's an 843, I believe the number is. I'd have to look for sure, but and that's a good baler. That's kind of our main baler. But I bought this one last year, this little International. I think they're made by New Idea, but this makes a 4x5 bale. It's actually 5 feet wide and 4 high. And basically the main reason I bought this baler was for doing just balage. I can do it with our chain baler, but it's hard on the chain. It bales it fine, makes a decent bale, kicks it out fine, but it stretches the chain, and those chains are like $1,500. So I bought this. The guy I bought it from, well, he used it for all his round bales, but he would take and go out and cut a couple rounds of hay and then run out with this and bale it right up. This is actually, well, once I get it opened up here, I can kind of show you a little more how it works, but let me turn the camera around here. The exact term, I guess I call it open throat, but there's no rollers or anything. It's just got different series of belts all the way around, and the hay just goes in there and it just rolls around until it gets full and it's packed tight, and then it ties it, and so you can pretty much bale anything with it. It doesn't have to go through any feed rollers or anything like that. So once we get it opened up, I can show you a little bit better. But it works really good for the higher moisture hay. I know they make actual silage specific balers, but if I ever upgrade, I'll probably look into one of them. But for right now, this thing works pretty good. So my brother had to run up. We had a hydraulic hose I noticed on here. Had a spot where it was starting to leak, so we're going to replace that before we get started, because I know that'll blow out as soon as I get up there otherwise. So that's kind of what we're doing now. I'm going to go get our wrapper hooked up to the other tractor and get that ready and see if we can make a few bales today anyhow. the bales here. Actually makes a pretty good bale. It's a little on the dry side, but you know, once you get it together and stick your fingers in there, you can feel there's pretty decent moisture in it yet. Those oats, they're kind of deceiving. They can look pretty dry and still have a lot of moisture in them. So anyway, it's a 4x5. Like I said, it's only 4 feet high and 5 wide. I kind of wish it was the other way. My wrapper will wrap 4 or 5 foot wide bales, but it does a little better job with 4 foot wide. But I'll kind of show you that once we start wrapping. But anyway, that's just kind of what the bale looks like. Paul just brought the V-rake up here. We're going to get that folded out. It's going all right without it raked, but the last piece is a lot thinner. I figured he had a little extra time, so we'll just rake the rest and it goes a little faster baling. I would have probably raked it all earlier, but with Connor coming over and stuff, we were running a little tight on time, so we'll get this folded up. Or unfolded, I should say. A lot easier with 2 people. And flat ground. Got away from Grandpa one time. I could have about 20 after 11 at night now. Past my bedtime a little bit. We got about 9 bales baled out there of them oats. My brother got the rest of the field raked. I got those 9 bales loaded and hauled home. So got that ready. I'm going to go up in the morning after chores and finish baling that. And then we'll get the rest of that wrapped. I got some hay fed out. I put one of them oat bales out for the heifers. And then I gave the cows some of that other baleage, that square bale, big square baleage. Just come in the barn, make sure everything is shut down in here for the night, and I'm going to head in and get a bite to eat maybe, clean up and go to bed, get up in the morning and do it again. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody, Sunday, June 12th, we're going to see if we can finish baling these oats. I'll get the tractor started up here with some fuel in it, and we'll go start baling. Got the rest of it loaded up. Heading home. We'll wrap them up. Yep. That's good. Now there's supposed to be a stationary knife on the back of this wrapper, so when you dump a bale off, you set the next bale on, when that knife comes around it'll cut the wrap. I took that off because, well, I only had about a 50% success rate of that thing cutting anyway. I don't really know why, but another reason I took it off is these are 5-foot wide bales. This will wrap 4 or 5 foot wide. But with a 5-foot wide bale, if the bale wasn't just perfect, or if you didn't have it set just perfect when you dumped it, it would run over that knife and punch a hole in it. So I just usually I have one of the kids here to run and cut the wrap once we set a new bale on, but I'm just doing it myself today. But so that's why there's no knife on here. There's supposed to be. I've still got it, but I had to jump off most of the time and cut it anyway, so it doesn't really take me any longer than it did before. So that's why I do that. But the tractor we got on here is a 200 Allis Chalmers. That's my dad's tractor. He brought that over. He's a little more familiar with running that one. And then it runs the wrapper nice, because the only ones I've got with 3-point that'll run the wrapper are the 1256 or the 830 case with the loader on it. And that one is kind of cramped inside to fit into if you're going to be in there running a lot of stuff. And then that 1256 has got a hydraulic leak on the remote, so he brought this one over, and this one works nice on there, so that's why we got a different tractor on there today. Alright, here's the finished product here. I got 22 bales wrapped here. I had 23 total off the field, so that was pretty good. So now the next ones, I got those other oats that we seeded a little bit later. Those I'm going to probably kind of do the same thing with those. But this stuff smelled really good. I think it'll make really good feed. It was a little bit on the dry side, but oh, there's a deer. Not even scared of me at all. Oh, here comes a little one. I think there's one more fawn, but they're probably waiting for me to leave so they can come over here and have a snack on these bales. Either the other one's in there already or he hasn't crossed yet. I'm pretty sure there's 2. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, it smelled really good. You could tell it was starting to ferment, so that's good. So that'll make some nice feed. But anyway, that's what the finished product looks like, and see you in the next video.